Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the shop. It's 2025 and we got some big stuff going on. Huge. Lots of things. Well, maybe not that huge. No, a couple things. Stuff. So I guess it's been a few years since I picked up the old Craftex CX603. And I think it's time that maybe I do some talking about it. I don't know if I'll call it a review, but there's some stuff I want to fix on it. Some that's just not so great from factory, and then at least one thing that I screwed up. Plus, adding something very special to it. I think you already probably can guess what it is. That's right, the power feed. So basically, this was super easy to install. There's like really nothing to it at all. The only problems I had with it were the key didn't come with a key for this guy right here, and that's the one that runs on this. It's a 3mm key. Didn't come with that. They should probably address that. And another problem, well, a couple problems actually. But for the most part, this fit right up, except for these two screws don't line up. Like the hole in this is what's not copacetic, pretty sure. I had this apart once already, and I drilled another hole in it down here. But this is the hole that's crooked, because when I put it together, well, I'll show you. So you see it's sitting nice and straight right now, but it kind of sits cockeyed like that, basically, when you put this other screw in. So I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, but that's where it goes. See, it's crooked. And it won't straighten out, and I can't get both screws in there. So what I had to do, we're gonna take this guy off and drill and tap a M6 hole in there. I'm just eyeballing it straight, nothing too fancy. In fact, that's the only way it could go. And I'll just put the nether hole down here. It should do it. Yeah, so okay, since we're here, I was a little kind of concerned because all they did for the shoulder here was they just milled the threads off, and that's how they did that. So I'm kind of surprised at how chintzy that was. I'm not sure if that's I don't think that's racist. Chintzy, cheap, just means cheap. That's all. I don't know. Racist against cheap people, maybe. Anywho, so yeah, so you just take those off. And this just pops right off of here. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. Like, this mill is not very high tech at all. Okay, got all that fixed up, I think. Got an extra hole in there. So at first start, when you take all this off, like this was on here before, and then there was just this was on here, and then there's just the handle. That was it. So here's a little bearing race. This is the inner race for that bearing on the unit there. All right, and then you got your bearings inside there. Try not to bang them on anything. And it just slips right over that. Oh, now which screw hole was what now? I can't remember. Yeah, because one was straight and one was crooked. Okay, well, hopefully this all lines up, because I don't think we got room for any more holes. I always get a little nervous when I use the drill press, because sometimes things don't quite pan out the way you expect them to. So it came with a whole bunch of shims. Some are 20 thou, some are 40 thou, some are 5 thou, I think. I've already kind of dialed this in, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. And basically, you just kind of put this on without the key, and you'll be able to feel it. Like that's engaged, so you know the teeth are engaged. And you basically just keep doing that until, keep swapping out shims until you get as little gap in here as possible without it feeling chunky. And you chuck your 3mm key in there. Now I have to mill out of a 3/16 key, which is kind of slightly irritating, I guess. It just goes on just like that. And usually there's this thing here. This is where I'm kind of ending up at here, because none of my dials really work for this. It's for a bridge port. My dials just have this goofy little set screw up here, which is not, it's cheap, I guess. I don't really like that that's so open like that. I would like that to be closed in a lot better. So, I don't know. I'm just going to leave that for now. I'm not really sure what to do with it. But, yeah, then you just put your main key in there with your wheel. Once you get all that tension sorted out. And this has a nut on the end and a set screw. what the clunking is. Wasn't there before. Look at this. Yeah, some of the stuff on this machine are a little bit, I don't know how to really say it. Not very great. Okay, I did find a chunk of junk in there. I think it was actually from inside the casting here as a part of the, I don't know, when the drills pushed through on those holes, left a little bit of paint or powder coating or something like that. I think that's what was in there. But, I don't know, that's pretty slow, I guess. I don't know how slow you need to go. Or what that really qualifies as for inches per minute. Rapids. I don't know. I think the line one we had at work was quite a bit faster than that, but it still beats cranking. So that's your rapids right there. And your speed selector. Oh, that might sound like it's gonna burn it out when I do that. I don't know. Oh. I don't know what that sound is. Still making freaking noises. I don't like that. Well, I don't know. It is what it is, I guess, for 100. Well, it doesn't sound. I don't know. It doesn't sound bad. Oh, I need it over here though. Anyway, so. Well, what can I say about this? As far as review goes, well, you've all seen it in action. It can take a pretty good bite. Let's see. Spindle is at least 3 inches. Yeah, it's got over 3. Whatever that works out to be in metric. Got a 1.5 horsepower motor. Lots of, well, it's a select-a-belt thing, which I'm not really too thrilled with. Yeah, I don't know. It machines accurately. Like once you figure out all the little quirks it has, and get the gibs all set up right and everything, it does pretty good. I do have some beefs with it though. Like these were the motor brackets that came with it. And okay, well, that one's good. But this one, you probably see it from there. It was so bad. Like the motor was so cockeyed. I had to put like almost a 1/4 inch of shims on the one end just to get it to run straight. And then of course when you move it out in a different angle, it's screwed up again. So yeah, that you can see that one hole in the backside there. You got straight in the front, nice in the middle, and then on the backside, well, not so much. So they did end up replacing it for me at least. It took a long time to get here though. I guess this all came all the way from probably Taiwan or wherever. It took a long time, over like 2 years probably to get it. And then I had to fight with customer service and stuff. They're like, oh, just shim it. I'm like, no, I just spent how many thousands of dollars on this thing. I want this thing to be, I didn't pay for this crap, so I gave them shit. And they eventually did send that to me. I don't know if I still have the clip with the motor. Motor had some issues too. The tail end where the fan goes had about 10-15 thou run out in it. They sent me a new motor. Didn't ask for the old one back, so that's a bonus, I guess. It still works. It's just you don't want all that vibration in there when you're trying to do stuff. All that freaking cans and tins rattling around all over the place, and You know, and maybe even showing up in your work, you know, and if you're milling a fine cut, and then all of a sudden, what's all these little ridges about? And like, well, so I think it is better. The new one is better. I haven't actually even checked it. So for a hobby mill, like it's got its weight to it. It's over 1,000 pounds. I think it's over 500 kilograms. Yeah, it was about 1,200, 1,300 pounds. Especially with adding stuff onto it, it's definitely getting a little heavier. So it's got the rigidity factor is not half bad. You can plow through a lot of metal with it. Is what I'm saying. It does all right. Of course, being hypercritical about stuff like this, stuff you spend money on it by is what I mean. There's some design flaws that were painfully noticeable. Like if you look at this, like guess what happens when that's if you forget to move that, like if this is all the way back and this is hanging down, this will hit here. As you can see, it already has done that, and it'll tighten this table all the way up, like really bad. So if you're cranking the table on the Y, and you're like, what the hell's going on with this table? Well, that's what's going on. This freaking thing is just in such a stupid spot. You need almost a handle. It's sticking way out here, and I don't really, or you need it way out here almost. But I don't really like that either. One-shot oiler, that's nice. Plastic tubing stuff, like this is kind of in the way here. I'm always hitting this every time I I'm always hitting this every time I fiddle with this. So that's kind of annoying. The machining, well, you've seen on the other side of that lead screw, it's pretty shit. I'm not gonna lie. And one thing I noticed is this table is actually a little on the anemic side. Well, it's only just a little over 2 inches thick only. And if you're cranking something down on the outside T-slot, you can actually feel it in the gib when you're moving the table. It tightens up the gib. Like it flexes the table that much that it actually feels it. You can feel it it's quite noticeable. What else could I say? I'm going through all the cons, I guess, because there is pros. Having a mill, that's a huge freaking pro. The knee. What can I say about the knee? It's a kind of anemic too, I guess. Like if you don't lock this down when you're doing long swaths with the X, but I guess that's kind of probably pretty normal. If you don't lock that down when you're making long cuts, it'll definitely, the weight of the table actually makes it twist a little bit. So you got to make sure to lock that down. That's one of the things that you go through learning how to run this thing. It's just you got to lock stuff down. But like the ones I said, once you get all that figured out, it's actually a pretty good mill. Depending on, for what it is, I guess. Like if you want to spend $20,000 on a mill, or you want to spend $6,000 on a brand new mill, it's up to you. This setup. And this. It sucks. I hate this setup. This has got to be the single most hated part of this mill. Just this right here. This whole belt thing. It is pretty terrible. The ranges are not very good. There's some times that you just want to be somewhere in between 900 and 400, like 700, let's say, which is actually a pretty popular speed. They can't do it, and I don't know why they only got 3 pulleys on this unit. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Technically, that should probably be in a better spot, but I don't think there really is a better spot where you could actually even put that. It's just kind of, you might have to put up some weird bracketry or something. And it would undoubtedly be in the way, so I guess you're just kind of humped with that. You can hook up a coolant pump. It's got a base down here. I was actually considering putting a little heater in there. A little chicken coop heater or something. And then a coolant tank. And there actually is a plug right in here. You can't see it because it's covered with crap right now. But there's a plug. If you chip away some of the powder coating, you just unscrew that plug and put a screen on that. Or whatever. and it'll flow right into here. So it is capable of doing the flood coolant, but for sure. What else? I don't know. This thing, this piece of junk. That's what I'm trying to replace it. Unfortunately, I ordered one that was too short, and it's not gonna. I was trying to go with the accordion one, but I might end up just I don't know. If this one I could just use for the Z-axis maybe, and then put the accordion here for the Y. That might be okay. I would have just preferred to have some nice wipers in here instead, maybe. I don't know. But I have had the opportunity to use a Bridgeport, and I could say differences in Bridgeport. Well, let's see. Well, it's obviously got more stuff all in here, and the quill is much longer on a Bridgeport. Here you got about 3.5, 4 inches of quill travel. And that Bridgeport that I used, it was a pretty much the same class as this, same size table, same amount of travel, and it would add quite a bit more quill, quite a bit, almost 2 inches, and much heavier. It was much heavier too. Only one other thing I kind of don't like about this mill is no low range, 0 low range. The slowest speed is 270 RPM. So if you get a cutter on there, high speed steel cutter, say for cutting gears, well, I think that's probably a little bit fast. So you got to get smaller cutters if you can, I guess. Anywho, what I can say is that this is actually scraped in. The midsection here. This has scrapings under it. If I could move this. Actually, you know what? Yeah. So back to this, I guess. This is the piece I put on that was too short. What I ended up doing, I cut this for, what was it, for the Z or something, but it ended up being too short. So I ended up cutting the Y or the X to accommodate. Kind of get away with it using this, but I got something coming in this weekend, maybe. And I'm hoping that I can get a couple more inches of travel out of this. Would be great. So yeah, we're going to get a lot more inches out of that. Excellent. I put standoffs in the back of all these just to keep them off the base. Like even these have a little bit of standoff. Just if stuff's way oil and stuff coming off the top there. I didn't want it dripping over top of this. So I'd rather have it dripping in behind there and not hurting anything than, making a big frickin' mess, and just gives it somewhere to go, is what I'm trying to tell you. This is going to be a hard video to edit. There's the bracket I made. That just accommodates it, makes those kind of, well, mostly flush. I thought those are flusher. And then it's so it can hold on to that rubber piece. Basically a mimic of that other bracket. But yeah, so I'm going to have to retrieve that. And I guess I can show you this part here now. I don't know if the bottom is scraped, but the top does have scrape marks. See? And see, I can get quite a bit more travel out of that now. As much as I don't like doing that, like, that's an extra 2 inches. And I'm going to need that extra travel soon. Okay, so this thing's making some weird noises, so I took the bottom off to investigate because it was still kind of clicking. And look at that. Yeah. I think the gear is like not centered, or you hear that click, right? Hear that? I can freaking hear it. I thought it was me, but it's inside there somewhere. I think it's got a bad bearing. Why else would it be wandering like that? Trying to get you guys you can see it in the nut, that shaft looks bent. Either that or it's just kind of all over the place with a loose bearing. I don't know. I don't want to go too deep inside this thing, but that's telling me that something's not quite right with this thing. use a finger. It's not ticking so much on this side. We're going this direction. It's making some pretty awful noises though. See that? I don't know. I think it's got a bad bearing in there or something. Or bushing. Something's not right. I never even got to use the damn thing yet. Not a single chip. Alright guys, so that's all fixed. Got that all working good as new. It turns out we got 18 and a bit inches of travel now. So I gained a couple inches at least. I did manage to get the power feed going. And it's not making too much racket. So we're going to take it for a test drive because of course we are. We got a chunk of just 1-inch plate. Just mild steel. We don't test with aluminum in this shop. We test with steel. Yeah, I'm just getting a feel for how deep I can go here and how fast. Oh, this is scary. Oh, wrong way. Okay, now it's under power. Holy shit, back, watch out. That's a big cut. Anybody cool here? What do we do? Yeah, it's pretty hot. I'm gonna back it up. Oh, we're getting lots of deflection. It's doing it, but I'm just scared I'm gonna break my spindle or something. That could be kind of a dull end mill too. It's a little better. It's pretty hot though, I think. We need a coolant for this sort of thing. It's kind of going by the color of the chips. They're coming off dark blue then black, so I'm just trying to keep them at a reasonable color. If they're black, that's way too fast. Yeah, that's smoking off there. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some research on inches per minute now and stuff like that. I really don't know. But it does work. The real fun will be when we're using a fly cutter or something. That last little bit, that's the high spot there. Yeah, I don't think I like how that feels. It's a little sketchy. Anyways. It works. That's all I was really shooting for anyway. And this is probably super hot. No, actually it's not. It's well, it's a little hot on the end here where it was getting thick. Yeah, it's hot over here. It's nice here though. So that's too much thick. That's about right. Well, sorry about that, guys. I kind of wanted to do a big cut because of the whole review thing. But, three pairs of glasses on. And I do got a better end mill, but I'm a little too cheap to burn up a brand new solid carbide end mill. Oh, crap. Does that mean I'm racist against myself? All right, guys. Well, I guess that's another edition of Thinking Out Loud. Hope that left you guys with at least some bit of something. You guys have a good one. Peace out.